this year is about to pick up. Okay. But if you're feeling tired or unmotivated, I think that's a sign where your space, your environment might be asking for some of your attention before your goals can actually move forward into action. Your home is one of the only places that your nervous system receives constant feedback from all day, every day. When it's aligned, it's intentional, it's supportive, it's calming. It reduces friction everywhere. It's easy, it's peaceful. It's really important to have a grounded and stable foundation as we approach the Lunar New Year. And no matter if you're catching this in February or this video is timeless, any time that you're moving into a new season or a transition, this message will apply. I'm Danni Sinclair, holistic interior designer, and I create sanctuary spaces for how you live and work so that your future self already feels home. I'm referencing the year of the horse energy again because it's a really transformative time where we're closing out the year of the snake. That was a 9-year cycle, and we're about to go into a cycle of new and fresh energy. And with that, we need to ensure that our homes are grounded, our energy is grounded, our environments are grounded, so that when this energy picks up and the momentum kicks up, we are ready to receive it. And with that, I want to talk a little bit about dips in energy, how sometimes it might seem your motivation dips a little bit right before it takes off. And I want to clarify something, because when I keep talking about the year of the horse and this energy and taking action and getting busy and momentum and movement, all of this is very true, but it's not busyness in the sense that we're just doing things and efforting more. I believe that a lot of effort has been done, hopefully, in the year of the snake. And this year is about fast action. So it's not necessarily about being busy, having a packed calendar. It's about acceleration and elevation. And when the moment hits, we're going to be ready to respond. And there's not going to be a lot of time for reflection and pondering and this kind of wishy-washy energy. Things are going to be happening very swiftly and very quickly, and you have to keep up the pace. It's about elevation, and it's about the next chapter, and it's about the next goal and the next intention. And you name the goal or an intention, hopefully at the beginning of the new year or not. And you can kind of see where you're headed. You can kind of have a vision for what you want to achieve. But right about now is when we get into the energy of the new year, new me, it's a fresh start, all of that rah-rah. And the season's not really set up to contain that energy. So what tends to happen with a lot of us is that the energy begins to fall flat. And then we begin to second guess ourselves. And then we begin to lose motivation a little bit. And it's like you're bracing for something, but the energy is not necessarily there. And there's a reason for that. It's because we're not in the season. We're still in a quiet, reflective, cold winter yin season. We weren't really supposed to be doing all that rah-rah back in January. So there's this like tension between what society tells us we should be doing culturally and the energy that we're kind of in at the moment. And what that does is creates pressure. It creates pressure to do more. It creates pressure to strategize, to optimize, to push harder. And then you begin looping like, oh, I don't feel like I'm doing enough yet. I should be further along than I am right now. And then you hit a wall because you have brain fatigue. And then following the brain fatigue, you get physical fatigue and you get sick, you get the flu, you get sinus infections, you get physical ailments and pain because a lot of this tension that we've built up in our bodies at a time and a place where we're not even supposed to be acting so fast and so swiftly yet. And in my experience, both personally and with women that I work with, women who are in a transition, in a move, or in a career up level, or are expanding their family with new kids or pets, right before a new season, your system, your body, your mind, your nervous system needs to do less, not more. But we're wired to keep going and to do more and to push through. So I don't think there's anything wrong with you if you feel stuck or unmotivated, but I do question you to think about, what is it that you're actually standing on? Like, what are you 10 toes in? Before the momentum pushes through, before your transition, before your season, get quiet and ask yourself, what are you standing on? How are you grounded in your energy? Because we're so hyper focused on getting to the next thing, to accelerating to the next step, to getting to the next chapter, to growth and acceleration and speed, that we don't slow down and get stabilized. The fast seasons is not what causes burnouts. It's not having a supportive environment that causes burnout. When your environment isn't set up to relieve pressure, then everything relies on your internal resources alone. And that might not be enough. I'm telling you, because I've seen it time and time again in my own life where things begin to pile up. It's not because they require more efforting. It requires a better supported system in order to keep things running smoothly. These aren't hard things. They're not necessarily harder to do. It's that you can't run efficiently with so many tabs open in the background. When things are moving quickly, they don't require more effort. They require more support. And when the support's not there, that's when everything begins to become more costly. Decisions feel heavier. Focus slips. Rest doesn't feel restorative anymore. And it's because your environment is doing too little by just slowly and quietly handing the pressure back to you. When I say environment, I mean our homes, I mean our workspaces, I mean the people who are around you, everything that you are taking in, the consumption on social media, the music you listen to, the light in your home. So much of this is affecting your nervous system on a regular basis and giving you signals and saying this is safe or it's not. And more you pile up and the more you take in, the less available energy and resources you have to do when things get faster and get busier. We tend to treat our homes and our workplaces as decorative and as neutral backdrops, but they're not. Your environment is constantly sending your nervous system signals about your safety, your capacity, and your readiness. And when it's not grounded, when it's chaotic, and when it's cluttered, it reflects all that stress back onto you. And then your body begins to overcompensate by being steadily on alert, looking out for everything that's not safe. And then it becomes a vicious loop. And then this is when your progress begins to feel stagnant and heavy and like you're not getting anywhere, like you're stuck in the mud. I see this clearly as a metaphor when I'm working out at the gym and I'm working out consistently and I'm hitting my targets, but at the same time, it feels like I'm hitting a wall. Like it's taking my body longer to recuperate. I have muscle soreness for a couple of days and my body just feels like the progress is slower and everything just feels heavier. And my strength is not really increasing, but my body feels weighed down from it. And my instinct is to push through that because I want to make gains. But when I actually force myself to rest, take a week or 2 weeks off, even though I don't want to, and do some low impact or just fully rest. When I go back 2 weeks later, after I force myself rest, something shifts. And then I come back and I'm stronger. Then I can lift more, I can load more weight, I can move through more resistance. It's crazy. How did I gain strength by taking a break for 2 weeks? I don't get it. So sometimes taking a retreat is not quitting. There is productivity and rest that we don't see. And you're not losing momentum. You're actually steadying your grounding. You're restoring your foundation so that your next push doesn't cost you so much effort, doesn't drain your body, your energy, and your peace. And I see this, the same thing in our homes where we set goals, we make intentions, we're ready for more. But if the environment isn't set up to support how we live and how we work, all of that pressure lands on us. We are the vessel. So if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling overstimulated, if you're feeling hesitant, don't ignore these signals, because that is your nervous system sending you a signal. Something's off. We got a problem. And it's a support problem. It's a stability problem. The energy of the year ahead of us is really about to pick up. And this isn't about rushing forward and doing a lot more. But right now, it's about doing less to stabilize and to ground. And it might seem a little fast or overwhelming at times. So right now, before that even gets started, you want to stabilize, you want to ground so that what comes towards you doesn't cost you your peace. And if you're curious about that, or if that landed for you in any particular way and you want to discuss more about how your space can support your peace, I'm opening up a few more sanctuary sessions this spring so that I can help you ground your space for your new chapter. I create sanctuary spaces for how you live and work. That's all I have for now. Peace.